I'm Elizabeth at A Literary Princess. If you are new here, welcome. I have a PhD in English literature with a focus on Victorian women novelists, and as you might expect, I love to read. Today I have a book review for you, and we will be looking at A Life for a Life by Dinah Mulock Craik from 1859. This will be a spoiler-free review, so if you have not read A Life for a Life, don't worry, I will not be telling you the major plot points or details. I just want to tell you a bit about the book and its themes, read you some passages, and hopefully convince you that you should pick this up. Oh, let's jump in. So A Life for a Life is the story of two people, Dora Johnston and Dr. Max Urquhart. It is told in alternating journal entries for each of them, which is really unique, I feel like, in Victorian literature. I don't know that I have seen another novel that actually does that. Like, sure, epistolary novels are a thing, but I don't know if I've seen just like the two major characters and the journal entries back and forth. So that's I really liked that. It's a really good way of telling the story, and to get to be in both of the characters' heads, because of course this is first person in their journal, really helps feel the emotions of this story and the impact. Dora is a 25-year-old woman who feels like she really isn't doing anything in life and has no purpose. She is the second daughter of a clergyman. Her youngest sister gets married early on in the book, and her oldest sister is engaged, but she has no one and nothing. Max Urquhart is an army surgeon and has recently returned from the Crimean War. And he has something that is weighing on his soul, a secret that no one can know, but that he feels makes him unworthy for any of the usual things that a man would go about doing in life, getting married, having children, etc. However, these two are drawn together and they fall in love. And this is truly one of the most wonderful love stories that I have read. I mean, if this Wuthering Heights, greatest love story ever told, definitely not. Is this? Possibly. I'm trying to think of another Victorian novel where I feel so strongly about the actual romance between the characters. And I am coming up blank. Like, truly just them longing for each other, because of course they don't know that the other one is in love with, naturally. And and there are some beautiful passages about love too. At one point, Dora's family is kind of teasing her about this book that she really loves and the love story in it. I believe, in spite of all you say, that there is, not only in books, but in the world, such a thing as love, unselfish, faithful, and true, like that of my Thecla and my Max, the characters in her book. Max also has the same name as the main character, Max Urquhart. I believe that such a love, a right love, teaches people to think of the right first and themselves afterward, and therefore, if necessary, they could bear to part for any number of years, or even forever. At another point, Dora writes, "Once I used to like reading and hearing all about love and lovers, what they said and how they looked and how happy they were in one another. Now it seems as if these things ought never to be read or told by any mortal tongue or pen." Craik has done such a beautiful job with this romance. But the book is far more than just a love story. She is also exploring themes of morality, guilt, forgiveness, and what is a life worth? In so many different ways, too, in terms of war, but also in terms of medicine and saving lives, in terms of a single woman who has no prospects, in terms of taking a life, and like all of these different ways that life and death kind of interact and show up throughout a story, all these different ways of how does life matter? What is it worth? And Dora really feels like her life has no purpose. She writes, Theodora Johnston, age 15. What a different creature that was. I can bring it back now, with its long curls and its short frocks, by Penelope's orders, preserved as late as possible, running wild over the moors, or hiding itself in the garden with a book, or curling up in a corner of this attic, then unfurnished, with a pencil and the back of a letter, writing its silly poetry, thinking, planning, dreaming, looking forward to such a wonderful, impossible life, quite satisfied with itself and all it was to do therein. And what has it done? Nothing. What is it now? The aforesaid Theodora Johnston, age 25. She really feels that she doesn't matter. And it's kind of heartbreaking. There's such an interesting portrayal of depression in this book. And I love that because I feel like a lot of Victorian literature doesn't deal with that. But she feels like there could be something worth life in her. I feel there is that in me which is worth something, but a return for which I have never yet received. Give me its fair equivalent, its full and honest price, and oh, if I could expend it every mite, how boundlessly rich I should grow. At one point, she's talking with Dr. Urquhart, and she says, take for instance, Mrs. Granton and me. Mrs. Granton is her elderly neighbor. If death hesitated between us, I know which he had better choose. The one who had least pleasure in living, and who would be easiest spared, who, from either error or fate, or some inherent faults, which become almost equal to a fate, had lived 25 years without being of the smallest use to anybody, and to whom the best that could happen would apparently be to be caught up in the arms of the Grim Reaper and sown afresh in a new world to begin again. Like, that is heartbreaking. And Max contradicts her in this. He says, do you know that it is wrong to die, to let yourself carelessly slip out of God's world in which he put you to do good work there? I have no work to do. None of us can say that. You ought not, you shall not, I will not allow it. And Max has some also lovely thoughts musing on life and death. At one point early on, he says, what a small matter life or death seems when one comes to think of it. What an easy exchange. And then, strange, there in the Crimea, in the midst of danger, hardship, and misery of all kinds, I was at peace, even happy, happier than for many years. I seem to have lived down and nearly obliterated from thought that one day, 1 hour, 1 moment, which was but a moment. Can it or ought it to weigh against a whole existence, or, as some religionists would tell us, against an eternity? Yet what is time? What is eternity? And what is man measuring himself, his atom of good or ill, either done or suffered against God? At one point, Dora asks him why he became a doctor. He says, I will tell you, if you desire it. My motive was not unlike one you once suggested, to save life instead of destroying it. Also, because I wish to have my own life always in my hand, I cannot justly consider it mine. It is owed. I cannot express how much I love this book. Craik really puts her characters through it, and along with those characters, she puts you through it. There are like highs and lows and moments when you're on the edge of your seat. And it was just wonderful. I cannot believe that this is a book that has been forgotten the way it has. Like, why are we not reading this right along with Middlemarch or Jane Eyre or any number of other Victorian books? I really feel that we should be, truly. It is beautifully written, the characters are wonderfully drawn, and there is just so much that Craik gives you to think about. Again, in terms of life and death, morality, forgiveness, guilt, religion. It is a very religious book. You should know that going in. But I don't think really any more so than other Victorian novels. Most Victorian novels have a very heavy religious element, or a lot of them do. George Eliot's novels frequently do. Even Jane Eyre has a pretty significant religious element. But do be aware of that going in. But this is just truly wonderful. Wonderful. I cannot strongly recommend it enough. So this is a Victoria's Archives edition. I believe it came out right at the end of last year. Victoria's Archives aims to put into print forgotten Victorian books, like A Life for a Life. This is one of 3 Craik books that they have right now. They also have Olive, which I highly recommend, and The Laurel Bush, which I'm hoping to read soon. And I'm gonna leave the link to purchase A Life for a Life down in the description box, because really, I cannot recommend it enough. Maybe this is recency bias, but I think this is one of the best Victorian novels I've ever read. If you liked the Heir of Redcliffe and the works of Charlotte Mary Yonge, I think you'll really enjoy this. Like similar emotional level of the Heir of Redcliffe, which was one of my favorite books of last year and has made its way onto my favorite books of the Victorian period. And I think A Life for a Life is going to be following it, because this is just phenomenal. Phenomenal, and I want everyone to read it. So that is my review of A Life for a Life. Kind of all over the place, and mostly just me being like, oh my god, go read it, it's great. But seriously, go read it, it's great. Let me know down in the comments, have you read A Life for a Life? What did you think of it? Have you read any other works by Craik, and which has been your favorite? This is definitely my favorite of hers so far, and this is my 4th Craik book. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my bookish content. It has been great chatting with you. I will see you soon. Bye.